Hello everyone. Today we are going to learn about monitoring project progress with the help of earned value management, and especially by using project key performance indicators, or what they're also known as is KPIs. Before we jump in, let's talk about the three key parameters we need to know to monitor the progress of a project. The number one is planned value. So planned value is basically the value planned of a project at any given point in time. The question you should ask yourself as a PM is how much of the project work was planned to be completed by any given point in time. The second parameter you as a PM should know about is earned value. So earned value is basically the amount of work that has been completed at any given point in time. The third parameter is the actual cost. It is the budget spent to attain the earned value, again at any given point in time. Don't worry if these parameters sound complicated. We will be solving an example together to understand these key terms. But first, let's visit the S curve of a project. So this is what a S curve of a project looks like. You have cost on the y-axis and you have time on the x-axis. You can see three different curves here. This curve denotes the actual cost. This is the PV curve or the planned value curve. This is earned value or EV curve. This vertical line here basically is any given point in time. At any given point in time, the difference between earned value and the actual cost is known as cost variance or CV, which is equal to EV minus AC. Similarly, the difference between planned value and earned value is called SV or schedule variance. Let's try to understand the significance of these indices. So first of all, let's talk about CPI or cost performance index. So basically it's the ratio of EV over AC or earned value divided by actual cost. Other index we use is SPI. It's called schedule performance index. This is basically a ratio of earned value and the planned value. So in this chart here, in this table, you can see the relation between these KPIs and project performance. So if your KPI, if both the KPIs, that is CPI and SPI, is less than 1, this means your project is basically over budget and behind schedule. If they are equal to 1, it means they are on budget and on schedule. If they are greater than 1, it means it's under budget and ahead of schedule. Let's try to understand this concept with the help of an example. So we have a question here. We have a renovation project. The question says a $100,000 renovation project is scheduled for 8 weeks. At the end of 4th week, the project is 30% complete at a cost of $65,000. How is the project performing? Now, before you start solving this question, you should understand the various terms, the various numbers that have been given in the question itself. We know, at looking at the question, we know the total budget of the project was $100,000. The total scheduled time was 8 weeks. At the end of 4th week means when we are 50% into the project is only 30% complete at a cost of $65,000. So $65,000 is basically the actual cost. Let's try to solve this question together. First of all, we know the total budget, that is $100,000. We know the planned expense at the end of 4th week is 50% of the total budget because we are 50% into the project. So that comes out to be $50,000. The earned value is 30% of the total project. That is 30% of $100,000, which comes out to be $30,000. The actual cost given in the question itself is $65,000. We already know our SPIs and CPI formulas, so we're gonna use those formulas to find out our indices. So CPI, if you remember, is earned value over actual cost, which comes out to be $30,000 divided by 65,000 is equal to 0.461. Note that the CPI is 0.46, which is less than 1. This means our project is over budget. Similarly, let's find SPI. SPI is equal to earned value over planned value, which comes out to be 0.6. Again, the SPI is also less than 1. This means our project is behind schedule. So when the question asks you how is the project performing, you should be calculating the CPIs and SPIs. And while we have done CPI and SPI calculation for this question, we know the project is over budget and behind schedule. There's one more question that I want you to solve and leave the answers in the comment section below. The question is, a 20-day project on a $10,000 budget is in execution phase. 3/4 of the project is scheduled for completion today, but the project team went above and beyond by completing 85% of the project instead of 75%. How is the project performing? Please leave your answers in the comment section below. And if you like what you just saw, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell icon. All the best for your PMP preparation. Thank you and have a nice day.